that much because I'm doing it for 5 years. Let's multiply. Let's put everything in parentheses to make sure that we won't make an error. Times 1 plus the long rate raised to the power long term. And from all of that, I'm going to deduct the notional amount. So in this example, in the last year of that contract, you effectively paid 49,622 in interest. In this option 3, 1 million times, since we're doing compound, 1 plus the forward rate raised to the power forward term minus the notional. Let's calculate the difference. I mean, I could have done everything I did in that cell, but this kind of makes it cleaner. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say if this thing is greater than 0, that means we're doing years. Use that amount. Otherwise, use that amount. And my target value is 0 anyway. Okay. So depending upon, let's go back to monthly. Depending upon, and I'm going to solve for the forward rate. Once I get out of okay. Oh, should be green light. Once I get into green light, it says solver mode. It actually solved for that rate. So if this thing changes, this our original deal was this was 12, 6, 6. Again, I could have that as a formula. I just chose not to. As you can see, the 6 months forward, 6-month rate is lower than both the current 6-month rate and current 12-month rate. Why? Because here the longer term rate is lower than the short term rate. That's basically market is telling you we are expecting the 6-month rate to go down. Whether or not it will, that's a different story. But that's what market is betting on right now. Let's use this one, for example, to figure out what market thinks of long-term yields. How about 5-year forward, 5-year rate? Okay. It's a lot easier to go to setup mode. Remember, red light is setup mode. I'm gonna do 5-year short term, 10-year long term. Actually, let me make this a formula. And let me make that into red so that we won't touch it. Notional amount doesn't matter. I do it so that these things kind of are in dollar terms. Okay, I need to know the 5-year rate and the 10-year rate. Currently, the yield on 5-year treasuries is 447.1. The yield on 10-year treasuries is 432.9. All I have to do is go back to solar mode. So that's 411. So market is thinking that in the longer term, 5-year rates are coming down. That shouldn't be surprising to anybody. I mean, by then, Fed would have been done with their rate increasing cycle. But even now, let's do 1 year, 2 years. 1 year, 536.6, 543.6. Oh, 2 years is not. Well, let's do 2 and 3. 5062, 4744. 2, 3. Until you have the right inputs, this doesn't change anything. I can't see anything. 5062. And 574.7. Same. It's about 4%. That's what market is betting on right now. And if you actually did have contracts, which is going to start in October. So once those Treasury bill and BISB contracts start, we'll revisit them at some point, and because we're going to talk about cost of capital and stuff, so we will talk about interest rates again, and we'll revisit them and look at those numbers. And clearly, you can see. I won't talk about it today. I have only 15 minutes. If you had those contracts, you're going to make or lose money when the short-term interest rates go up and down, right? So even though it's not 100% correlated, if short-term interest rates go up, it's almost always the case that long-term interest rates are going to go up too. So those two risks are correlated. Ideally, you would have looked at that correlation as well, but at a minimum, you can go ahead and manage that risk that way. So if you own treasury bonds, you're going to short short-term interest rate futures because prices of those contracts are inversely related to interest rates. If interest rates go up, price goes down. And if you want to make money when the price goes down, you always short that product, right? But we will get back to it when we actually have a tool that we can use. It's not there yet. I can use the software features, but they're too complicated. You have to keep track of the 3-month average. It's not an average that starts in the future. It's an average that started 3 months before the end of the contract month. So if I'm talking about the July contract, the whole thing started in maybe September contract. The averaging started, I think, in June, but I need to read more about that. But either way, it's too complicated. Both BSBY and 3-month yield uh, futures are very clean. They look at what that rate is going to be on the last day of the contract. So that is a true forward interest rate in that sense. All right, let's stop here for today. On Monday, we're going to switch gears and we're going to start thinking about risk and return of the portfolios. And we're going to derive some of the basic theorems in investments. Why do we have the law in finance that in order to earn higher returns, you have to take higher risks? We're going to work on what we call minimum variance boundary and efficient frontier. We're going to actually derive those using the actual historical return numbers. I'll see you guys Monday.